Good afternoon, everybody. We have this very, very broad topic, what's going on in agave spirits, that Micah, Carlos, and I are going to talk about today. And I'm happy that I'd actually see Carlos's presentation before, but we're somewhat aligned here, talking a lot about our supply chain. I'm going to talk about it from the tequila perspective. So this presentation, the tequila supply chain, how to define your brand through how you make it. Today I want to talk a little bit of a background on Tanteo, my tequila brand, as well as my background, some background on the tequila industry in general. Talk about tequila for gringos and how the tequila industry has really been defined by the U.S. consumer in a significant way over the last 30 years. We'll finish up talking about defining your brand through your supply chain and how to be an alternative to a lot of the tequila brands out there today that don't have a lot of substance to their production process, a lot of what Carlos was touching on earlier, and then some future predictions for the tequila category. So a little bit of background on our company, Tanteo. We make a line of 100% agave tequilas. We make an 85 proof Blanco, a little bit higher than the traditional 80 proof Blanco tequilas, but we're known for our spicy infusions. That was our big innovation to the tequila business, trying to push the boundaries by making infused tequilas, and we're infused with jalapenos, which is our most popular. We do a chipotle and a habanero expression as well. We're designed to make spicy tequila cocktails more consistently. We saw a problem, a lot of bars and home bartenders that were having challenges making spicy margaritas consistently. We thought we could do it better down in Mexico, so that's a big part of what this company is. We hope to expand, and I know this panel is about all agave spirits, expand the tequila category, expand the agave spirits categories, push the boundaries, get new consumers to come in. That's what we're hoping to do with Tanteo. And a big part of our story is also the cooperative of agave growers that own our distillery. So our distillery is a cooperative of 85 different families of agave growers. They grow agave, are able to sell it to the cooperative at a fair price, and we make a really damn good tequila doing that. My background, both Mike and I are from Minnesota. Very proud to be from the Midwest. I have a background in theology and philosophy. I was actually studying to be a Catholic priest before I got into the booze business. Decided I didn't want to do that. My senior year of college, moved up to New York and started bartending at a nightclub. Moved to New York in 2008, so went from one spirit to another, but I'm very, very glad I've made the switch. I started Tanteo as an intern in 2009 under the two founders, and I've been the CEO since 2014. If we have more time, that's a longer story, but happy to talk to anybody after the presentation about that. So give a little bit of background on tequila. I'm going to give a bold statement. Tequila is a fusion spirit. You talk about tequila purists to say that tequila has always been done this way. Well, tequila is one of the newest spirits categories. It is a fusion spirit between agave coming from the Americas and the science and art of distillation coming through the Spanish conquest and then colonization of Mexico and all of Latin America. The Spaniards did not invent distillation. This came from the Middle East, and this was another combination of different cultures during the Crusades, where the science of distillation came to Europe and then finally came to the Americas, combined with agave, and we made really, really good distilled spirits. So tequila has evolved. It used to be called mezcal wine. It was put on the map by this brand, Jose Cuervo, in the town of Tequila, Jalisco, Mexico, 1795. You see a little bit later, this is in the 1850s, Herradura came on the scene. They were very consequential in being the first 100% agave tequila to bring to the United States, to get the American consumer to understand what good tequila, what 100% agave tequila can be. You saw another innovation in the 1940s, Don Julio making tequila in the highlands region of Jalisco for the first time, and expanding the where tequila could be made outside of just the lowlands region of the town of Tequila and Amatitan to a bigger area. And then we all know what Patron did, launched in 1989. Got that confused, and brought luxury tequila to the American consumer, started to get the American consumer to think about tequila as something more than just a shot to take at a party. So for tequila production, the agave comes from, and the distillery needs to be located in 5 states in Mexico. I think of these 5 states, Michoacan, Guanajuato, Nayarit, Tamaulipas, and Jalisco, almost all of the distilleries live in the state of Jalisco. Most of them are in these 2 regions. You have the lowlands region, where Cuervo, Herradura, lots and lots of brands are made there. And then you have the newer highlands region. Tanteo, we live smack dab in between, just south of the city of Guadalajara, in an area called Cienega. So tequila today, 90% of all tequila exported out of Mexico is going to the United States. The U.S. market is the export market for tequila. So when you're launching a tequila brand, you need to think about the U.S. market, because that's where the business is. If you start adding Mexico in here, Mexico does more or less about a little bit less than 1/3 of the tequila that the American consumers consume. So it is a big piece of it as well, but a lot of it is at a lower price point. And we were just talking right beforehand, the margins as a producer are quite slim if you're launching a tequila brand in Mexico. Tequila today is defined by maquila production, and maquila production is this term came about in the 60s of using a foreign country to produce goods tax-free and duty-free. And it happens in all sorts of consumer goods that Americans consume. But raw materials are brought to a Latin American country, they're assembled there, and then they're brought back for sale in the U.S. So if you ever are talking to another tequila distillery about being a co-packer, they'll call you a maquila brand that works with that distillery. And why this is important is that a lot of tequila factories or tequila distilleries, they see themselves as not very defining the brand that is made there. So you have tequila distilleries that make 100, that make 150 different brands out of one known. And those, I've talked to a lot of these distillers and owners of those distilleries that take pride in what they're doing, but the brands that they do, they're almost collecting them. They don't see a really strong partnership that this brand is defined by that particular distillery. And this maquila production, I see as being a big part of what is happening in luxury tequila today. That celebrity, that additional marketing initiatives are the central part of a lot of these brands, and it's not actually about the production process. Because you have brands that are making, or distilleries that are making 100 or 150 different brands, some of those, there's different things you can do between the production process. I'm not saying a maquila brand is going to be identical. Every maquila brand made at one distillery is going to be identical, but there's not a lot you can do to tell your brand story when so many different brands are being made there. So at Tanteo, we like to do things a little differently. As I mentioned, our distillery is a cooperative of 85 different families of agave growers, and we're doing a lot to define our brand through our production process, through our supply chain. So some things that we do, we really try to tie the brand to the production. We try to put things down at the distillery that say Tanteo, to have uniforms that say Tanteo, to get a lot of content, photos, people out in the fields. Now, this is not everybody's everyday uniform, humidors that are chopping agaves, but we want to make sure that we have a sufficient amount of authentic content that shows that we are really tied, that we know what is going on down at the distillery. For your sales reps and your marketing team, they should know the names of people that work at the distillery. That should be part of the story. We try to do that a lot at Tanteo to humanize all the people in the production process. We also try to explain it. So we have a blog on the Tanteo website that talks about every step of our production process. We want to be as transparent as possible and let everybody know how we make our product, because we think that's a big part of how our brand is defined. And then we also try to be a good host. So we bring a lot of people down. COVID has changed a lot in the world. This photo was actually done, I think, March 12th of 2020, right before everything shut down. But we brought down 70 of our top customers down to the distillery. They got to see the entire production process. Some of the photos that Carlos shared, we want to have people see that in real life and become brand evangelists for the long term when they can see the authenticity of the production process. So what are some future predictions with this in mind of what the tequila industry is going to look like in the future? I think tequila tourism is going to be a bigger part of the future. The tequila country is not Napa Valley. It is not Bourbon County, Kentucky at this point. But there's a lot of opportunity as there's more interest in Mexican culture. There's a larger part of the U.S. population has Latin or Mexican origins, is interested in that, and is going to be more comfortable coming down and seeing that experience firsthand. We're already seeing a lot of tequilas out there with more aging innovation. Luxury tequila has become a lot more popular, and with that, we think that there is akin to what the Scotch industry has done over the last 20 years to make a lot more innovation in the type of wood they're using, aging their tequilas. At Tanteo, obviously, we were first to market in flavored or infused tequila. We think there's a lot more room for innovation on that front, and we're happy to see more and more brands come forward doing different innovation in flavor, and we know that we're going to continue to do that at Tanteo as well. And then to Carlos's point, there's a lot of inefficiencies in the production process. We can make agave spirits with the same quality or better quality, but we can do it more efficiently. And I'm very excited to see more innovation in how we actually produce our products without sacrificing quality. So excited to see that in the future. So that's what I got. I'm looking forward to continue with the discussion a little bit later. Thank you.